Hey guys, Slimber here, and for the third time in a row, we are doing a video on PragerU. This guy claims comedy is dying. Let's review.
3 white men walk into a bar. You're a racist! Is that a joke?
No, that's a statement.
In today's hypersensitive world, it's hard to know what's funny anymore. And as someone who makes his living as a comedian, that's a big problem. Ask Jerry Seinfeld. He's announced he won't play college campuses. He doesn't want to deal with all the political correctness. And he's not exactly edgy. Comedy is important. Why? Because it's a pressure valve that allows us to discuss uncomfortable truths in a friendly way. Laughs are better than punches. But identity politics is killing the gag. How many times have you heard someone say something like this? You're not black, so you don't know what it's like to be me.
I've never heard that when somebody's joking. I've heard that when somebody makes maybe a racist claim. Like, somebody says something actually, like, they seriously believe, but I've never heard somebody respond to a joke like that. Not once in my life.
You're a man, so you can't have an opinion about any issues affecting women. As a left-handed pansexual leprechaun, only I really know about elevator safety. Comedy only works when we agree on certain realities. Take this joke. Why do you always go fishing with at least 2 Baptists?
Because you and the other Baptists can't hold down the 3 Catholic priests you brought that are trying to molest you.
Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer. The reason this gets a laugh...
This didn't get a single laugh from anybody. I can guarantee it didn't even get even a bit of a chuckle from anybody. It didn't even raise a smile from anybody. Because it wasn't really funny.
Is because most of us recognize that many religious people are a little more religious around other religious people. That hypocrisy is funny because everyone can relate to it on some level. We're all a little hypocritical now and then. The problem is that today, fewer and fewer people seem to agree on the basics. You know, shared assumptions. I recently did a joke on stage. People keep comparing Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. He's nothing like Hitler. Hitler would have never let CNN talk like that. Anderson Cooper wouldn't have made it through the night of the long knives. There are people that don't understand that joke. And the reason is that joke requires us all to agree, and stick with me here, that Hitler was a bad, bad man.
I don't think the problem is that nobody understands the joke. I think the problem is you're just not funny. I think if you would have said something like,
what's the difference between Donald Trump and Hitler?
What?
Hitler could actually get something done.
Oh.
And that the night of long knives was a bad, bad thing. And that President Trump, whether you like him or not, isn't anything like that bad, bad man who did that bad, bad thing. And I wouldn't want him to be. But since we now live in a world where some stupid people like Hitler and some other stupid people think Trump is Hitler, well, we just can't agree that this obviously absurd joke is funny. We can't even agree that it's obviously absurd.
That has been the case throughout the history of comedy. Obviously, you're going to offend somebody if you make a darker joke. Of fucking course. That is how dark jokes work.
How about this? Why did the chicken cross the road? Why is the rooster being paid more for crossing the same road? Is that absurd enough for you? During the run-up to the release of the movie Black Panther, all the marketing push was about how, finally, there was a black movie made by black people, with black people for black people. I found this to be fairly hilarious, so I simply took any statement about the film and responded as a white person that actually had that insane way of viewing the world. I just saw the trailer for Black Panther. Ugh, no white people. Looks terrible. Hard pass. Who am I supposed to relate to? No one's white.
Here's the problem, dumbass. When you make a statement like that and you don't make it clear you're fucking joking, of course people are going to take you seriously.
Not one, but 2 prominent black actors, Don Cheadle and Jeffrey Wright, started tweeting me about how it's time black people had a movie and how I should be more sensitive to their situation.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking fair, because you didn't provide them any fucking context to that you were joking. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, do you not know what context is?
Keep in mind, both of these black actors are already rich and famous. I figured this was such an obviously satirical take on identity politics that no one could miss the joke.
To be fair though, that was the only funny joke he's made so far, but let me go ahead and explain this to him. When you don't provide context to people, Of course, they are going to get mad at you because they don't know if you're fucking joking or not. That'd be like me going to the Holocaust Museum and screaming, "Burn all the Jews!" Like, what the fuck? They don't know I'm fucking joking.
Nope. I was releasing a little social stress through satire. That's what comedians are supposed to do.
So people saying that's the first all-black superhero film was stressing you out? I don't think the joke made you racist. I think this kind of made you racist.
Releasing social stress used to be the special task of late-night comedy. The place that everyone could meet at the end of a long day. But that's dead too. Nobody takes themselves more seriously than these former comedians. Seems like Jimmy Kimmel cries more often than he tells jokes these days.
So my main goal isn't really to generalize with this, but to be honest, it seems more like a lot of conservatives cry over Jimmy Kimmel's jokes, to be honest, and it kind of sounds like he is crying over Jimmy Kimmel's jokes. Let me add on to the fact that I actually don't think Jimmy Kimmel is funny. I don't think a lot of those, like, late-night talk show hosts are funny at all, but, you know, whatever.
And Stephen Colbert is just Rachel Maddow with punchlines. As if we weren't already divided enough. They're only telling jokes for half the country now. There's no shortage of things to laugh about. We just need to find them together. And if we don't, we'll explode. And that's not a joke. I'm Owen Benjamin for Prager University.
Alright guys, well that's it. This whole thing was funnier than almost any joke he made on this whole fucking video. But leave a like, leave a comment, Slimber out.